everybody, welcome back. Movie review time, where basically I just kind of geek out about a movie that I just saw, and today I just finally sat down and watched Rob Zombie's 31. Alright, so before we get into this, I do want to make this clear. This is going to be my all the spoilers review. I'm going to talk spoilers left and right. I'm going to talk about everything in this movie. The ending included everything, so it's going to be spoilers all over the place. If you'd like to see a review without spoilers, there's a link in the description below, or something's popping up right about now. You can click on that, then come on back and check this out once you've seen the movie and you're ready to watch the spoilers. Alright, so here's your warning. Everybody ready? Spoilers, 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 spoilers. Cool, you guys had a chance to click away? Y'all good? We're all good. Okay, so in case you didn't see my no spoilers video, I just got to give you my basic impressions, which is completely disappointed in this film. I wanted so much more. I expect so much more from Rob Zombie, and this thing was just a jumbled mess that felt like it was incredibly rushed and not well thought through, and I didn't care about any of the characters, heroes or villains. The plot makes like almost no sense. It's kind of Rob Zombie doing his version of Stephen King's The Running Man, like the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that could have been awesome, and it should have been awesome. His design sense is still there and everything, but just the performances were weak. I really like Sherry Moon Zombie. I liked her in Halloween. I liked her a lot in Lords of Salem. I thought she was awful in this, just absolutely awful from start to finish. Nobody else had any real charisma. Even like Malcolm McDowell was like just boring and wasted in this film. It starts off pretty good though. The main guy talking to camera before he kills the priest is pretty intense because he's looking right at you, like looking down the camera lens, and that was setting a tone that it just did not follow. And I've said before, I'm a huge fan of everything Rob Zombie's done, and this was nowhere near the brutality level or the darkness level or any of that. So let me get into some specifics. In the beginning, we have like 20 minutes of just this, like, I guess kind of carnival people. I don't know if I can say carny, if that may be no K word, but no K word, I like that. Anyways, and they're just kind of hanging out in the van, being your standard Rob Zombie characters, which I don't mind if he retreads, because I wanted another House of a Thousand Corpses, and this should have been like that, but it wasn't. But my problem is, none of these characters really stood out as anything interesting. It's really quick and jumbled, and the cutting is weird, and you can't understand half of what's being said because people are talking over each other and all this. And there's nothing like setting up any sense of doom or foreboding dread or anything like that. It's just, it's like I'm watching like a slice of life I'm watching somebody's home movies from the 70s, And then basically we get to the thing where there's the creepy ass thing. They've set up like the kind of scarecrows in the middle of the road to get the people out of the van, and even that's not really that menacing. And then these really creepy fucking dudes show up that are so underused in this movie that they almost look like zombies and like goggles and helmets or something and striped shirts. And then it's just like jump cut, like just crazy. You don't know what's going on. Like some people are dying, some people aren't, and like they just cut to like freeze frames of, oh yeah, this guy's dead and that guy's dead, and not in a sense of like, oh, this is chaos and hectic and I'm supposed to feel like I don't know what's going on. Just really in a, wait, are there shots missing here? Did they have a short day? Is the budget so under they couldn't do anything? So that was annoying. And then we get to the actual, like, the 31 game, which, by the way, if you guys know why the hell they call the game 31, I totally missed that, so I don't know what the hell was that going on with that. There was nothing that makes to the numbers 31. I don't even think they said anybody's odds were 31. Maybe they did. I missed the last odds because they kept updating the odds, and my brain just kind of zoned by that point because I was frustrated with the movie. So maybe somebody's odds went to 31 or something. I don't know. But the first villain up, man, not scary at all. It's a little dude, a little Nazi guy, and he's really just more annoying, and you just want to punt him. And of course, you got characters doing the stupid thing of they knock him down and think he's dead, and it's like, why don't you kill him? And then there's all throughout the movie, man, like all these villains, they keep talking, all the heroes like, we need better weapons, and all the villains like have these badass knives and shit, and they kill them, and they don't take their knives. So I don't know what the fuck is going on there. At least they took one of the chainsaws, The chainsaw duo, though, those guys were cool, and that was like probably the best part of the movie is that whole thing. Even though, you knew there was a trap with the girl pinned to the ground that was still alive and all that. So for me, that's the best segment of the movie. Then they trap half the group in the cage, the other half's outside fighting, the inside dude pops up out of the hay and all that. So that was actually a cool sequence, but that's really the only really cool thing in this, I thought. Because again, I'm just kind of looking at the characters. Everything else is kind of paint by numbers, kind of predictable. You had like the sex and death killers that, I don't know, I just don't know. Like, I'm even getting tired just talking about the movie because it is so frustrating to me. I really expected more from Rob Zombie. I said it's in the other one. If this had been his first film, I'd be like, okay, and then he grows from there, but it's not. He's made some truly fantastic films that are just really dark and just kind of perfect exploitation horror films. And this is like, it's just so like thrown together, man. I'm just terribly disappointed in it. Even the violence and the kills, like it's not as gory or as brutal as we've come to, expect from his film. So a lot of my expectations were really way up there. And I was wondering why a movie like this didn't go to theaters, because he's still got a good reputation other than that one night only Fathom event thing. So after seeing the movie, I can kind of see why. Also, I gotta talk about that ending. Well, first let's talk about Doomhead, the main killer. And again, I don't understand why he was so successful compared to all the other killers. The whole game seems really lopsided. Like, hey, we're gonna send in one killer against 5 people who were friends and gonna band together every time. So I don't, and then he really had to get into some horror cliche tropes to split people apart and stuff, so. And I didn't care about any of them enough to really care when they died. And by the end, I'm like, please just kill Sherry Moon Zombie, let's end this movie. And she doesn't die. Like literally he's about to stab her, Doomhead, and then the game's over, puts it down. And that's that. And, they're all like, Malcolm McDowell's like, oh, I don't know what we'll have to do with her. This is unprecedented, blah, 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 blah. And they never really rectify any of that. The ending is actually, she's walking down the road and Doomhead shows up and she like makes a clenched fist and he whips out his knives and they smile and that's the end of the movie. And I knew it too. You felt it coming because the music was swelling and it's like, they're not actually gonna give me an ending. They're gonna fucking just leave it up to you. And like, that's not something to leave up to me, man. Like have Doomhead get hit with a fucking car or something. Or even when she was fighting him, since she made friends with the gas station attendant in the beginning, that pervy old dude grabbing his junk and stuff. Like maybe he came out and just fucking shoveled the guy to the head or something. Nothing like that. God, I guess I don't want to sit here and just nitpick every little problem I had with it, but some of the other issues were like the mutton chops dude who survives next to last. Like, you go down this thing that I can clearly fit in with you, even though he kept saying I can't fit down there, and I'll hold him off as long as I can. So his plan for holding him off is just stand there and let myself get stabbed a whole bunch, and then try to grab his leg. And it's like, that was your plan? You don't even want to like kind of give him a little bit of a chase to buy some time? And of course they send all the goons with the machine guns home, all that kind of stuff. And again, the whole like game system of it just makes no sense. And again, I don't necessarily need that to make sense, but I was so annoyed by the lack of other things in this movie that then annoyed me more than it normally would. Like if all the other stuff was great, then it would be kind of cool that you don't know about this and there's layers to be unraveled in future. But everything else was just so flat compared to what Rob Zombie can do as a filmmaker. So I just don't know what's going on there, man. It's almost like he softened up a little bit. Like his design style is still there, but I don't know. It just seemed a little light. It wasn't that brutal. It wasn't that horrifying. A lot of times, like, that's what worked for me so well in The Devil's Rejects, is like, if you try to put yourself in the hero's shoes and you do the, what would I do in this scenario, you're still pretty fucked. It was very, very clever in everything he did. Very terrifying that he just whip out a gun and blow your brains out and his heartbeat, all that kind of stuff. None of that in here. You feel like you could beat every single thing going on in this movie. It's really just dumb luck is why anybody didn't win kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm really, really disappointed. I wanted so much more out of this film. And like I said, if you loved this movie, good for you. I wish I could. I'm jealous, but it just did not work for me. I was so pumped for this and been waiting and waiting and waiting, and then just like, really? That's what you're giving me? That's what you're giving me? Like, I know you want to make movies that feel like 80s cheesy horror film, slasher films, but I thought you were doing that, but like as a good filmmaker, not actually trying to make a bad version of that felt like it came from the 80s. I mean, look, if I watched this when I was like 8 years old or something, I would think it was stellar and it would blow my mind. But I would think that of all of his movies. But as an adult, I think that of most of his movies, except this one, it just did not come together for me. So really, really sorry. Hate to say that, but I will watch all the Rob Zombie stuff in the future. He hasn't lost me as a fan or anything. I still really like what he does. I just hope he puts a little more, gets back to putting the right amount of effort into this, because this just felt way undercooked, if, for lack of a better term. Very predictable too in a lot of places. There's, so I don't know. Well, anyways, that's kind of what I thought, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it a lot more. Feel free to discuss it with me in the comments, what your favorite part was. Do you agree with some of my stuff? Do you disagree? I mean, keep it civil. I'm not trying to say you should hate the movie too. I'm just giving you my opinion, which is just my opinion, and it's like assholes. We all got one. So, since my name's Butts, plural, I've got plenty of them. That's weird. But anyways, so that's my thoughts on Rob Zombie's 31, disappointment, and hopefully I will like his works in the future. But let me know what you're thinking about it, and we can discuss, and I don't know, maybe you guys feel the same. Other than that, though, you can click that thumbs up button, give me the thumb of encouragement, because I do like to be encouraged. Even if I don't agree with you, I still want to review things. So let's see what happens there. All right, well, I'm gonna get out of here, guys, so I will see everybody later.